Chris, thank you. Well, some local heroes recognized in Spartanburg today for their selfless actions that officials say helped save the life of a Spartanburg City police officer last year. A news conference was held at the Spartanburg County courthouse to recognize those good Samaritans and to talk about a new bill which would make sure anyone who threatens the life of a public official or their families will face harsher penalties. And we have been following this case from the start when that officer was first attacked. Fox Carolina's Carrie Weimer spoke to him today and the people who jumped in to save his life. Carrie, pretty remarkable story.
Yeah, absolutely, Tori. You know, he said he was very grateful. In fact, that would be an understatement on how he felt. Officer HANSON said the situation could have been so much worse. I also heard from an upstate lawmaker on what he's doing to give tougher sentences to suspects who attack public officials.
It was extremely fast. I only had about, I would say maybe 2 seconds to see him coming. I saw him coming with the knife, and I don't know. The only thing I really remember that day was just being kind of hyper-focused on the knife.
Officer ERIN HANSON says a brutal attack that left him severely injured in August of last year while working extra duty at the Spartanburg Dorman Center Walmart was something he's never experienced before.
We hear threats all the time. A lot of them it's just verbal. You know, at heat of the moment, you know, bringing someone to jail or giving them a ticket, whatever it may be. But it's a whole different ballgame when they actually try to do it.
Officials say HANSON was attacked for no apparent reason by James Ray Cunningham of Woodruff. The solicitor says Cunningham pled guilty but mentally ill to a number of charges, including attempted murder, and was sentenced to 24 years in prison.
And I heard a ruckus. So I turned around and looked and saw that he had been attacked.
Bill Strong was one of the 9 people authorities say stepped in and possibly saved the officer's life.
I just did what was instinctual. Officer
HANSON tells us he suffered a skull fracture, a broken nose, and lost the hearing in his right ear from a busted eardrum.
Everything's healed. I've got hearing aids, so I'm back to hearing stuff now, which is great. Other than that, I think mentally I'm doing pretty well. 4
of the 9 people involved in getting HANSON to safety were awarded today with the Bill Barnett Award at a news conference at the Spartanburg County Courthouse, where lawmakers also announced a proposed change to penalties for threatening public officials. Currently, the law only carries a sentence of up to 5 years, but Bill H. 3728, if approved, would mean anyone convicted of threatening a public official with an overt act could spend up to 30 years in prison.
We really need this kind of legislation to inject some respect into our society.
Now, this bill was introduced back in January, and right now it's being reviewed by the Judiciary Committee. Of course, we're going to track its progress and keep you updated if it passes. Tori?